Cause a lot of chicks holler, Mr. Chopper, you're hot as shit. They say I'm the best at what I do. Out of me is 5, 4, 3, 2.
Alright, we live, yo.
Sometimes I
Whoa!
I'm bumping.
Are we live, man?
Yeah, we live. Live.
I don't see nothing live.
Oh,
We
we
live.
live.
We live, you bitch! Oh, we looking at this camera.
Yeah, that one.
So what camera was that?
More of this one than anything. That's my phone.
I'm sorry, I ain't mean to call y'all bitches. I meant these bitches.
Don't call
Not
me
y'all.
bitches, yo.
Alright, we live. This is episode 11. Woo!
Episode.
I came right, didn't I? That means I was watching some of the last episode.
You missed one.
I did miss one. I had, what lie did I tell y'all? I told y'all something, but I had something else to do. Hey.
You said you had to get enlargement surgery.
That's what it was. I'm like,
Ain't that a
ain't that a slow?
Shots fired. To be honest, her name was Jessica.
Her name was,
That's even worse,
y'all both got
Go with the first
I
one.
deserve that shit. So, Not Safe for
You
Ears,
said his name was
episode
Jeff?
10. I'm Nicky Nick. You know and hate me. To my left, we got Carlos Santana.
Denzel Skywalker. Hey, look, we got a new
Hey.
thing now that we got to make sure we do in this one. Have everybody, if you got anything to tell us, or if you got anything that you want us to talk about, you can also email notsafeas@gmail.com.
Yep, we have it, believe on the page, the main page, and or your normal
And
phone.
that's because we getting listeners now that
Come on, give them the
that
stats.
We getting listeners.
Give them the
now.
stats, man.
Our listeners scaled and gone up 1,000 on iTunes this month. 1,000% up.
1,000.
What we had last time.
Y'all listen. Hey, y'all thought we was just fucking around. We was just bored motherfuckers on Instagram.
We were bored.
We're slightly bored now.
Now we're not as bored.
So 1,000%.
Yeah. So now people might email us.
Yeah,
They-
make sure y'all
they
get
could be
questions
bad.
to us.
As long as they got
We need the vibes. We need
You
the
know what I
vibes.
just thought about, yo?
Yeah.
Most people are too lazy to even look up and see if we're telling the truth. So let's start lying.
What we gonna say?
We're gonna buy some fake followers and be like, yo, we got
Yo,
and we're gonna say we got big followers somewhere.
messages in my DM
I'm
right
telling you.
now.
All right, so y'all not watching right now.
They
Right
would be
now.
like, but you still only getting 3 comments under your video.
We're gonna buy them motherfuckers too. Anyway,
Whatever we
let's
gotta
finish introducing the table here to my right.
I'm Will Smith at Will Smith.
So you doing it
This
big,
shit-
dog.
Real big.
Danny_Lips.
No, remember Danny Licious, right? Ain't that your new one?
Oh, that's a nickname?
Danny.
I'm not ever
Danny
calling you
Licious.
that. But
It's never. No.
I thought you
never-
just, you
you
just
can never
started
call
doing
a man
Instagram.
a grown man.
New Instagram is Danbiguous.
We need to do a poll. Should
Nah.
he change Danbiguous to
It's not.
hold on, what was that one I asked the other day?
He said
Nobody
Danbiguous.
responded to that shit.
You said nobody responded.
Yeah.
Wait, you said nobody responded. This is how we'll respond.
Nobody
So go ahead, but we. Hey, Marv, introduce yourself.
Alright, so Marvin MG2_fit, man. Make sure y'all catch up with us, man. Every Sunday. Well, except for next Sunday.
except for next Sunday. Cause why? What's going on next
Baby
Sunday?
shower,
What the
my
fuck?
girl. Lay up.
Baby
She's on the
shower.
way. Man, we gonna be turned up. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, look, when they miss the
I might bring
podcast,
Evo
the next
on
Sunday when we
live.
come back on, they still gonna be talking about the baby
I don't know.
shower.
You might, man.
So,
You don't want any kind of live.
We could bring the Mevo and go live on
I don't know. He might not want to physically connect.
Hey,
You might
look,
want to let that rock.
hey, look.
Or maybe a
Honestly,
quick recap. Maybe we like the red carpet, like, hey man, we got my man Bob coming. Bob, how's it going? You be like, yeah man, the baby about to come, like something like that, but real quick.
Look,
Nah, that
if
wouldn't
you can
be
bring look. As long as I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there,
Alright.
you guys can bring the Bevo.
Alright,
I
okay.
have no problem with that
We-
because it's gonna be like all the way turned. We're gonna have a DJ. It's gonna be Wild Foods chicken, all kinds of
Strippers?
stuff.
Maybe we can do something for the
Well,
page.
You know what? I
Waffles.
thought about that at one point in time, but I was like, nah, I don't think she would like that.
Strippers?
Like, I mean, we're not really strippers, but just have some dances.
Dancers.
No, I would get
Hey, we can do some live from the page. We don't have to have the Mevo. We can just live from the phone.
Oh yeah, check. Go to their pages.
So
They
we'll have something for y'all, man, to celebrate my man and his baby shower. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. All right, do you guys want to do a
Wakanda
quick
forever.
recap of that's his thing. Y'all, what's going on? What y'all do this weekend?
Switch the camera and the glass.
What you do this weekend?
I know, but I want everybody to look.
You was working this weekend.
Oh man, yeah, I've been working.
They
I
can
went to
see that in the
Starbucks
glass.
yesterday.
You went to
That count?
Starbucks? No, it does not fucking count. You in America went to Starbucks.
I played. We beat the game in Mortal Kombat again last
Yeah,
week.
okay, now what character did you use? Fallout gamers out there.
It was me and Pat. He was using Jason.
See Jason play
Yeah.
with me, y'all.
Yeah, Jason got this move. None of us played with him like that, but he got this move where like he just walk away from you and come on the other side and submit.
That's some Jason.
Yeah,
shit.
so
Oh,
I like watching motherfuckers that know how to play that game. I don't even gotta play. If you know all the moves, I just watch. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you played the game mode, the story mode.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I ain't gonna lie,
What y'all get into?
I guess there's no better time to tell you. So there's like a place you can go where you can use all the points that you accumulated.
Yeah.
I didn't think 14,000 was that many. Then I realized you only get 200 per win.
Yeah.
So I went there. That's been a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, that's been a lot.
Hey, shit, it was cool. We got a back last night. You know what I mean? We got some new finishing moves.
Really?
Some brutalities.
I didn't like a few brutalities. So.
Okay.
That's what it is.
When y'all do this, I might come and watch y'all
I
one.
just last week.
Yeah, it was funny though. We watching like
Last Sunday we was in here going at it.
Yeah, we was in here, bro.
Yeah, we was. I rolled up on Danny right while he was in the back of his trunk.
Oh, just now?
No. Last
You ain't
Sunday.
got a new truck?
Huh?
Motherfucker got a new truck.
I know I gotta see
It's
that
an
motherfucker.
SUV. Ain't no
Podcast
truck.
money looking good.
But this motherfucker, he embezzling it. You Howard University ass
Wait a minute,
motherfucker.
yo, we ain't see. I didn't
Yo,
see a check
Did
yet.
you see that nigga?
I did.
Oh, you what? I'm gonna pay y'all like, but it's topics.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? Hey, we're gonna re-talk about my salary, yo. Get
You know, it's
salary
just,
that I'm
I know,
not
right? 'Cause
getting.
you got the Jeep
it's
salary.
just the way our contracts are structured.
I think he put it. I think he signed it
Mine's
as not
fun.
safe for his company, so like he gets to write that off too.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
yeah. Mine's front heavy. My money's front heavy. You get
You
it.
get it back here. He said you give residual checks, but they never come.
If y'all heard my Instagram name, DM me. I'm a nice Jewish lawyer. Straight on.
I said a nice Jewish.
A nice Jewish man. Nice years.
Nah, any lawyer. All right, so question out of the it is what it is cup. Who crotch watches more, girls or guys?
Girls.
Oh man, that's a great. I wish we had a girl on
Do
set.
dudes really crotch watch though?
Yeah, that's right.
You mean ass watch?
Yo,
way
where
too
do you
much-
think
it's way
camera
too much
came
more.
from?
No. I'll tell you what. For a dude to crotch watch, a girl has to go out of her way. Like she's wearing the
Yeah.
yoga pants,
Up in
the
there.
white yoga pants, pulled up to her fucking neck,
And that's
no underwear, right?
Right.
That's how a dude, and a dude notices it, but he doesn't go
Can I get a little more
through
these
his day
space guys?
looking for it, right? A girl crotch watches when a dude's wearing jeans, sweatpants, damn overalls,
Mm-hmm.
like anything.
Overalls. The girls
Motherfucker
wearing
said, "You
crotch
fuck
watch.
them farm women."
Huh?
Overalls.
People
Overalls is back in the.
I know they bad, but I haven't seen nobody wear them.
Uh,
Except for like the white Stevenson University.
I actually
girls.
think-
my wife is wearing one next week.
All right, I'm gonna check that. Wife, you gonna do
You
it
should
right.
wear one too.
You should.
If you try to say white don't have style, you'll roast them.
What was the question? I give it that. Oh,
Who
so
crotch watches?
who crotch watches more?
That's a
Guys.
that's a lightning round question.
Yeah, it
Girls
is.
do.
I
Girls.
definitely feel so. I don't. Yeah, I ass watch.
Ass watch.
I ass
But if you
watch.
so
I
if
used
you
to watch asses.
so
Ass
all right,
watch.
so I'll be
Ass
on the other
watch.
end. So if that's the case, then
Some watch.
who would win either asses or Prince?
You know what the thing is? So I think we winning if you. I don't know. Listen.
Do we all agree it was girls?
I have
Yeah.
no clue.
Crotch watch.
I think we all
Now,
agree.
who-
That's like you said, like
Now who would it?
But
now,
the equivalent
now-
for us for that what they do crotch watching is when you see a girl she don't have a bra on and her nipples start to show. You know what I mean? Because that's not all the time.
Right.
Same for us. We can always ask.
that always fucks you
Always.
up.
When you see that, and
It
then
could be a librarian. You like,
It could be a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, it could be anything you
If her
dare.
nipples
It's
are
like,
poking through.
does she know that I see?
It is. It's like, oh my god, I think I have power. Like, no,
Yeah.
I could. Is there a ring next to it too?
Oh shit! When you see the nipples with the nipple rings, oh my
Oh yeah,
god!
like, let's talk about that, ladies. If you got a no bra on and a nipple ring, you're gonna get your titty looked at. So don't even expect to be like looked in the eyes.
Oh,
And
at all.
you're sitting there with
The
your
whole
nipple
time.
board.
If the shit is out there,
Fuck that.
Except Danny, he doesn't like nipples. He doesn't like nipple piercings.
I'm not a fan of
That's
the sense
not.
of
Look,
functionality.
hear me.
But this
All right,
is
here,
the
if I'm talking to a girl, right? If I talk to a girl and she
Mike-
already had nipple piercings when I met her, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna hold her. I'm not gonna hold that against her, right? I'm not a fan of them. So if I was with a girl, I mean, I was in college. Like this is my freshman year, and she wanted to get nipple piercings, and I said I don't care for it. Why? You know, there's no point in you getting it. You know, it's an aesthetic thing. She says, you know, I want to get it, so I'm gonna get it. I said, look. I know girls with whole boyfriends, like entire like lives with them, that they get their nipples pierced. They're not even girls that are like cheating. It's not like they're gonna go in the bathroom and blow you or nothing like that.
Right.
But if they just got their nipples pierced and you say, "Oh my God, let me see," they're excited to show people. I said, I don't want that for you.
Oh,
I
I
said,
didn't
and I'm
think
gonna.
about that.
I said, you're gonna enter a new way of thinking.
Yeah, you can't think of it like
That might be a hoe because that's half of it.
Hold on.
She might be a hoe.
Absolutely think of it that way.
That is kind of like
That's only half of the story because I've met in my past life girls who had rings and tattoos, and 5 years into that relationship, when we know each other, like, oh, you had a nipple ring, and they wasn't the type to be like, look at my nipple. It was like,
But I'm saying,
All right, look,
it's something
if
they
you
give
guys
themselves.
have nipple piercings, and
you just bust them out.
and Danny's right, you will send him pictures of your nipples at
He
some
will
point.
mentally
this
degrade
week.
you for now and forevermore.
no. You guys, see, you guys, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm saying that my girl, if my like, especially at that time, my girl, if you're getting nipple piercings, which I think is a cosmetic thing, you know, it's not for your religion. You know, if you're getting something that's a cosmetic thing and I don't want you to get it, then you're not getting it for me, right?
What if it's for her though?
For you.
If it's for her,
It's all for you.
you guys act like I put her, I was holding her in a dungeon.
Not yet.
I told her, I said, run, Lassie, run.
Bitch, be over.
So
So she
I
did
let,
do it
I
for
let her
her.
go to greener pastures. Listen. I have my non-negotiables. If, like,
Oh, that's a non-negotiable for
no, at the time it was.
Okay.
And so like now I have my adult non-negotiables, and if those get even scratched at, I'm gone.
What about this one? Is that still one of your? Is that migrated over to your adult, or is it like more like it depends on other factors?
Oh no, because I mean at this age, I guess like there's things that like I wouldn't have even dreamt of. Like when I was 21, the idea even of texting a girl with a kid wasn't even in my mind.
Yeah. No, you know what? I can agree with you there.
You
The
know,
young I was.
At 30.
No, you can't say that
That
at
the older
24.
you get, you realize everybody don't get married and happy and stay together.
Every time I put it like 70% of the girls that I meet that I'm like she's a great girl. Wow, she's so humble. She doesn't even know how amazing she looks. I'm like, that's why she's humbled. Because that's real life.
They become better people.
They become better people. And so like now I'm realizing
Just like
that.
life,
And I'm like,
You can't just blanket statement. No.
yeah, like the
More
child.
context,
I used to
yeah.
think of the kid as like a
Like a
liability.
burden, yeah,
Now it's
liability.
the kid's an asset because when he makes her a better person, and then like when you bond, if you bond with the kid, it's like it's a dope
And
experience.
they always have snacks.
Plus, we were all kids.
They stay with snacks in the house too.
Hey, you hear this man? Hold on. I like this. But they stay with
They stay with the snacks, yo.
But you
They
will,
stay with the snacks.
but you will be. I will be running that BD facts. You know,
Baby daddy facts. Yeah, that's
I'm calling the State Department. Do you have any file on Augustus
I'm
Jordan?
up against.
Augustus, he did.
Yeah.
He
nickname
said,
Lil Poop Poop.
he said aggravated assault and battery. Oh, when was this? You know, people. You know, it could have been as a kid. It was 6 months ago. He
He
did
go
it,
for that ass, boy.
but he just got out. Yeah, he was in jail for 6 months.
You said he in BGF?
No, I'm not answering
What was
that.
the question again?
Not answering that either.
All right.
Yep. So I already got the next question. I already did.
Did you touch on this?
Huh?
Did you touch on what we just talked
He
about?
said he stares at every crotch.
That's what it was.
Okay.
No.
So
No,
Nick,
not
You
one
good, you
bit.
good with nipple piercings?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was okay.
Y'all
You know, Marv, listen.
Y'all didn't hear
If
my
y'all
shit.
been watching this show,
been all
Marv has
shit.
always been about that action.
he said that he likes to get like
This
little-
motherfucker big
He
what?
said he likes to get those little, little pinchers things.
You got that? Look at Marv's face. He don't
He
give a
said,
shit.
he says
no.
he have them hanging from the
No,
nipples.
hell no.
He said he be having them hanging from the nipples.
No, that's not appetizing.
I was gonna make
You
a
got
crush.
like a
shot, but that
pole? You
wasn't
got a pole
appropriate.
in your apartment?
No, I said don't. No.
Oh shit!
No.
Fixing your
But look,
house up,
my-
yo.
my- my house-
Fixing your house up, yo.
Hey, look, if you can do that shit upstairs in the loft,
No, yo, we gotta put somewhere we can all come over and enjoy it, yo.
that's the only place you're gonna be able to enjoy it. Because anywhere else in the house is definitely
It'll be hella intimate.
Just have a party.
Hey,
I'm
yo,
saying, like, if you had
yo, put it in your, hey, yo, put it in
I
your
think
basement.
it comes
But you're in
down
the
to
basement,
your
everybody goes down there.
That's the
So
point, yo. You have a party.
Just
yo.
put it in
You have
the
a
kitchen.
party.
I know, yo,
I think that's
Like,
something
the
for him to do.
housewoman is gonna be all fucked
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
Hey, look, you about to start
Housewoman,
a
fuck
you
up.
got
He
a
can
marriage.
have his baby
Bro,
shower. He could
you
definitely
just
have
got
his
married
house
by
party.
your kid. I wouldn't recommend doing anything. You should have it in your crib, or you. Y'all
It
two.
had to be Danny, yeah.
Let's get to the next topic.
You said it had to be.
What we got next, Marv?
Alright, would you rather make 50,000 self-employed or 100,000 as an employee? As an employee, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going
Shoot
to
that.
shoot.
Yeah.
I would make 50,000 by myself before I work for somebody else for 100,000. I'm sorry. That's just. I mean, I feel like although you're gonna deal with the struggle for the next man for 100,000.
Well, and you saying you think you might get to 100,000 on your own. So you talking like right now, and with the future, you're thinking you're gonna get to 100,000, or you kind of know that you're gonna stay around 50.
No, if you see, that's the thing though. Is
When the context of the question is like, this is good.
You know you're gonna stay at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 50 seconds. Let's say if we reframe it to, I guess to not allow for much flexibility.
Yeah.
If for the next 10 years, would you rather make 50,000, self-employed, or make 100,000?
Now, are you self-employed? You cutting grass because it's just better than working for.
It just means you don't have a boss.
Or are you doing what you really, really want to do, or are you just doing anything?
Well, I mean, I think it's just he's trying to make it as simple and as uncomplicated and in the simplest form.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you're doing, how happy you are,
and there's no chance of you losing it because like your boss.
It's just 50,000 here or 100,000 here, and for somebody else.
Well, no, there's always going to be the risks.
No, you can't say that.
So now,
you're changing the value.
But then you got some. Assurances working for certain jobs.
Is the stock market going up or down at this point?
Are you a self-investor? Like, are you a day trader?
You could be.
So I'll put it this way: if you say that you're 100% self-employed, right? Then you factor in the risks of what if you can't find business? Yeah. What if something bad happens and people that you have under you aren't doing their job, right? Mm-hmm. The same thing that happens in a real like structured company that you're making $100K. What if you're the vice VP, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's a senior VP, and then there's somebody under, right? That does kind of what you do, but that doesn't have the title. That $100,000 position could be vanquished, and they split those responsibilities between those two people. That's a risk.
Yeah,
working for someone's always a risk.
Yeah, especially in Maryland, because
what risk are you?
They don't have to tell you when they fire.
Absolutely,
I've been through that.
So what risk are you comfortable with, basically? Individual preference.
Yeah, that's the.
I would say I would echo your sentiments. I would say because I assume if it's 50,000, it's my own schedule. I can move and flow with whatever business I'm doing. I would pick 50 myself. Yeah. At this current moment, yes. I don't have kids. I'm married. I'm cool.
Then
it is tough. It's definitely tough. But I would say,
I gotta stand up for a second. Thanks.
Yo, if you stand up, show your shoes.
I'm not trying to
show your shoes, yo.
Oh, these old too, yo.
I don't like Wendy Williams, but we might need to do a shoe cam, yo. We might need to do a shoe cam.
There you go.
Yeah, y'all see this? It's fitness shit.
Abs. Yo, we need.
Back to Danny. Danny, what you saying?
Go ahead.
You said 100,000?
No, I didn't answer. Go ahead.
Right.
No, who answered? No.
If Danny's not going to answer, I'll answer, but I'm going to answer for Danny.
Wait, what?
I like that. No, keep going.
Answer for you.
Danny would definitely do 100,000 over 50,000 because his mind practically is thinking, I'm working 8 hours a day at this job for 100,000. I can do twice the amount of things in the other 16 hours of the day with that extra, with the twice the money. That's probably because you think very practically. You're thinking, when I'm not working, what can I do with the extra money?
Well, first off, fuck you, because I was actually going to say that, but...
See? I know this guy,
Because when he said it, I was thinking about something like this, because you don't know how many... Like, you got to think about all the hours that when you're self-employed that you got to put in and know all the stuff that you have to know. Versus, you doing this one particular job and you know that you're going to have to do that day in and day out for that substantial 8 hours. Yeah. Damn, that was really good.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much like what I do now. Keep good. You get no
good job with being dead.
You got
kind of right. We got some of these boys. You got it wrong from time to time.
He read my journal. That's invasion of privacy. No. Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's really, but I mean, for you to.
What I do now is guaranteed in 2 weeks, X amount of dollars, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I waking up at 3:30 or 4:30 given the day, going to sleep around 11. Everything I do in between that time, I dictate, and I know that if everything else fails,
fuck sake, getting up at 3:30.
Huh?
Damn, that sounds sweet.
Huh? What time you wake up?
Too early.
You wake up earlier than that?
On a weekday. Yeah. Wow. Well, my career.
Hey,
forget what I'm doing. Keep talking. I don't want to just go.
No, but so only prostitutes and drug.
They play their numbers and they want some dick. He called me a prostitute. I do fuck old women. So they play their numbers first. Then they
got some shoulder titty.
They want some dick.
He got some shoulder titty.
But yeah, no, because when you're in between those hours, like I do reselling, right? Mm-hmm. Before, when I was doing reselling, if I had a bad month, Daniel had a bad month. It wasn't the business, had a bad month, but I'm Gucci. Now, if I have a bad, month, I'm like, damn, these goals I need to hit, but I say that while I'm eating dinner that I paid for. You know, so I would do the 100K because the 100K would give me options outside of that to do things that I want to do that could still produce money, and so I'd be able to set myself up for when I get to that point where I'm like, I'm making so much money outside of here that I'm actually losing money being at this 100K job, then I can leave seamlessly. But that also that
I feel like you
time
can choose either or.
Yeah, I feel like
you got
choose
pros and cons for either or because
Yeah.
that sounds great, and then you think
Like
some of the
50,000.
flexibility having the 50K, making your own schedule, knowing that you're right in touch with the people you're trying. You know, like you have a real grasp of it.
Right.
But then there's flaws to it of maybe some financial securities.
Yeah,
maybe
it comes down
like either way.
But
You
you
choose
could
either one.
love
It
what
comes
you're
down
doing
to
that much.
how hard people are willing to work. Like people, like I was just talking with my uncle and my cousin.
This one with the ball ass basement, the uncle with the basement, with the nice basement. It was like something he had a nice fucking liquor. It was a nice bottle of liquor in a nice basement.
He had the Louis XIII.
Yeah, Louis the
Oh
13th. That's the uncle.
yeah.
Louis XIII.
And yeah,
That's
And
what-
then
we call
he
Uncle
then he
Louis.
smashed it. He smacked the bottle.
I didn't know how expensive it was, and
You
when
know how Louis XIII?
bro,
Never
I
mind.
was.
Don't worry about it.
I don't read Alcoholics Digest.
I saw Alcoholics Digest. I mean,
I
literally,
saw-
I was watching the Secret Lives of the Super Rich. Yo,
So you're watching a show about rich stuff. I don't. So anyway, I saw this bottle, right? I saw this bottle, and it was corked. It was on corked already. It wasn't like I opened a brand new one.
Oh, we talking about the Louis bottle.
Yeah. And I opened it. I poured it into a glass. I drank it, and I said, "My God, that's good." It's like good in like an old, very wood grain, like aged forever type of way. Like it's deep, right? Well, it was really.
It's not Boone's Farms.
It was really good, and then
Look,
it was really good, and I'm hearing footsteps come downstairs while I'm tapping the glass, like ding, 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 getting the rest out of it, and all of a sudden, that's a different story. Anyway,
So that was a Louis story for those who heard it the first time.
I can't repeat those words on here.
With some financial advice, Uncle Louis, we can call him Uncle Louis. And he
Yeah,
gave
Oh,
out-
yeah.
Then
well,
we
he
got to the super rich.
yeah.
I kind of want to hear what Marvin.
All right.
Well, he was also saying, but he said that. Well, he said this is what he said.
Learn some shit.
He said that someone was talking to him and complaining about having to work like 60 hours, right? And he told me that in a span of 2 days he was working 36. You know, he'd work 36, but do that several times, and there'd be weeks that he was working 100 hours in Wall Street, right?
True.
And so I say that to say that if I had a 100-figure job, that's 8 hours a day, I'm willing to use the rest of those hours. To be fair, I probably work in all totality around 80 hours a week, working on something, whether that's reading up on something I need to know, or posting stuff, going to stores and buying stuff up. But that 50K life is dope too.
You gotta think,
you have no boss.
If you working 80 hours a week, you're sleeping 40 hours a week. That's all your time. Where's your time to suck titties and
Enjoy life.
drink?
Just enjoy life. Yeah, get out. Whatever you have to do. I guess
I haven't.
That's
That's
a
also not
sacrifice.
permanent.
I
I
haven't.
guess.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
I haven't had too much issue with that, but also with that that 40 hours that you're talking about sleeping, I don't sleep that long.
Yeah, but you run your body down over time if you sleep
But at
25 hours.
at 24 though, at 24, though, if I have if I go 3
when
days,
his ass hit 30.
Yeah.
but that's
You need an extra hour.
but that's why I do it now because if I'm
This is the time to do it.
at 24,
Yeah.
if I go 2 days without sleep, right? Say I go 2 days without sleep and I only get 2 hours the next day, right? I might be at work, right? This actually happened. I was at work. No, it's fine because the meal was still going. But I was at work and I had heart tremors.
Yeah.
Right? And that was from lack of sleep. I knew it was. Because I've had it before. I was having heart tremors. I'm like, oh crap. Whereas at 24, that's heart tremors. At 34, that's a heart attack. So I know that right now is what. And it's not just about work and income because there's a learning period and then there's an earning period. Right now I'm learning. So when I'm not all just working. I'm reading a lot. So that when I'm at 30, I won't have to do this reading because I'll have learned it by then. And,
Well, it'll be new knowledge, y'all.
well, no, there's always
it's a
new.
continuous
there's
learning.
always-
The textbook they recycle every goddamn 5 years.
Yeah, but I'm not reading
I think it's time management. You get better at time management when you have more risk. Like, okay, now I have a family, I have a girl. I can't just be selfish and do what Danny, Nick, or Denzel wants to do. But right now is the time for you to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have those responsibilities.
Yeah,
You
no,
can grind until your body breaks. And
Yeah, you don't want to try that shit when you get 30 because now this shit is like it
hits you different, yeah.
it hits you a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yo, because like yesterday, all day yesterday, ripping, running, all kinds of stuff. I mean, like stopped home, still worked all kinds. By the time 12 o'clock, no, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock hit last night.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I passed out.
you done.
I
Me
was-
too.
Yeah, I
We
was
were
on
at
the
the same
couch.
time,
One
yo.
time, I'm on the couch.
Slump.
Like, look, I was like, all right, I got my last little bit of time. I'm gonna read. The wife was already asleep. The dog been walked. Everything, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm chilling. I'm reading my book. You know, and I remember I'm going in on this book.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, my wife waking me up like,
Yeah.
trying to get to bed. I'm like,
Did you have glasses on?
no, I didn't.
I just saw you with glasses on when you was reading.
No, I don't need glasses.
I feel like you would wear
Not
glasses
right
when
now.
you read.
If I did, I would do it to be cool because I do it, like, yo, when I'm at work, and like,
Go ahead, clear friend. You dirty motherfucker.
I'm that nigga. So I'll be at work, and if I need a haircut, I wear these. You know, I got these frames. They pretty slick. Everybody, yo, the glasses real nice, and I'll be sitting there like, yeah, take the concentration off my hair. Like, you just-
That's fine.
I guess we can go to the next topic.
yeah, next time.
We pretty much
Yeah,
got that with that one.
Yeah.
And some more things.
Bermuda? Just came back? That had to say Bermuda on it.
All right.
Oh, my father went.
Oh,
I bet you was looking over here and said about Buddha.
Will the Browns make the playoffs in 2018?
Repeat one more time. Danny was talking shit to me.
Okay. He was talking. What?
Talk.
All right. Will the Browns make the playoffs in 2018?
The
All right, let's start with Nick.
Listen. I have a very peripheral understanding of the current state of the NFL and these whack ass teams, but I haven't heard too much about them from friends like these guys who are interested. So I would say no. I'm not hearing too much rumbling, but also my ear into the street. See, I watch real man shit where you walk in the motherfucking ring and ain't no brackets and no. Today I'ma fuck you up, or you gonna fuck me up, or we gonna fuck each other up. But we don't do no who gonna I'm saying no. We right now. That's what we do.
Just breathing on each other's necks and
Yeah, sweats, grab
You didn't hear
your-
about the new signing though?
I did not.
They just signed Peyton Manning.
But Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier fighting. You know about those two
Oh,
guys?
wait a minute.
They could beat everybody up in this house and then host a show for us.
Yo, they just traded for Adrian Peterson.
Okay. Oh, I know Adrian Peterson. That's a dreadlock dude, right?
No.
No, it isn't.
my God.
Sure, they got the Legion
Wow.
of
I'm
Bones.
sorry.
That's
look,
a tall
I'm a
dude.
They
little-
got the whole Legion of Bones at secondary right now as we speak. It's a
Oh,
whole
so
different
explain.
team,
School
yo.
me.
He
School
doesn't know
me.
these teams.
If you school me, the audience will be schooled as well. School me. School. I'm ready to be
No,
schooled.
the Super Friends are their linebacking core right now
Okay.
as we speak.
I didn't even heard that. They got a group called the Super Friends.
Yes, yo. it's
Oh
fucking
shit. So
nuts
what's their
right now.
names?
That's what I'm saying. You're supposed to be talking about that.
I don't know.
They activate their power to the fist bump.
That's hard. Are you serious?
I hate you.
Fuck out. No, but real talk. Now the joke was he let me go first because I don't watch football. So now let's talk about it. What's going on with these Browns?
I say, damn.
I'm really gonna listen to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to
It's tough to say because we got to go through all the free agency and to see what
Oh,
they do in the
jeez.
draft. They have the number one pick, so I got to see what they do there. But right now, I would say if they get Saquon Barkley, maybe. But right now, as they sit, I had to say no. They're in the AFC North. Steelers are going to come out next year again. They're going to win the AFC North.
The Ravens come back?
No, it may not be another representative from the AFC North again. That happened this year, so I think that might happen again. Chargers are coming. Raiders are coming. Raiders didn't make it last year. I think that they have a better shot this year.
I remember about
Yeah, so
that
it's going to be tough. I think the Browns are going to be 7-9, but that doesn't make the playoffs in the AFC North.
The Browns will be 7-9. What do you think the Ravens will be?
Best the Ravens this year.
Yeah.
I think the best that the Ravens could get would be 8-8. I'm feeling an 8-8 season. Maybe a 9.
break even in the division.
I think a 9-7. I think a 9-7. 9-7 record is tops, but they're gonna lose twice to the Steelers. I believe they will lose twice to the Steelers. Lose once to the Bengals, or because we won the division.
Could you
the
be
last
more
3 years.
biased?
We won the division the last 3 years. I don't know if that matters or anything, but so I think they're gonna lose twice to the Steelers,
That's not watching
lose
football.
once to the Bengals, and lose once to the Browns, and that's gonna fuck people up. And I think that's what's gonna keep them out of the playoffs.
What you say, Ma? You watch football?
I haven't been watching like I used to.
That shit weak, ain't it?
Do you watch?
I mean, no, those are fucking monsters.
No, but I really haven't been watching. I guess I was. At one point in time, it was because of the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Whatever.
That's what started me. Not watching.
What the fuck is this?
Titties? I don't know.
But that was what stopped me from watching it at first, just due to that whole situation. But then, also just because life sometimes it just takes you away from certain things you used to enjoy just on a free period. But I will say that sometimes when I do get a chance to go cut it up with my uncles and my father-in-law,
play all time,
and I'll go kick it with them, watch a little bit of the game, but then after that it's like the regular scheduled program.
You got an insight?
I don't. I have no clue what's going on with the
I
Browns.
have no idea.
You bitch! You had me. I was on the cross. First of all, it is Easter, so for those who are Christian,
Happy Easter to those who are.
I just jumped right into that. I make a Christ reference joke.
In 3 years, 3 days, you'll be right back.
I'll be right back. So the joke was,
see you on
he
Wednesday.
threw me on the cross. Anyway,
See you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday.
That shit was hilarious.
Fucking bitch, you got it. Anyway, we had nothing to share about
That was
it.
a good joke, yo. I was trying to just enjoy it for a second.
What joke?
In 3 days, you'll be right back.
I'm not looking at the fucking hand again.
He's doing shit right now.
Yeah.
Why would you? All right, next question.
All right,
Next
so
question.
yeah, we're gonna find out how long this shit really lasts before everybody's like really like.
Got you. I know I
Yo,
That's fucked
did.
up.
Yo, we got a topic from a viewer that.
shout out a fan from England. We got a fan from England. Hey, what's up? Can't pronounce your name.
No,
Thank you for tuning in.
Listen,
England?
it says Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. I mean,
I might go back.
Azerbaijan. I've never. That sounds like a place.
I couldn't
All right.
see it. I should wear my glasses.
So, would you rather lose a fight badly
Oh.
and have the video go viral, or find out your girlfriend cheated on you?
Or your
Ooh.
wife in this scenario.
All right, can I answer first?
Yeah.
So I got 3 fights, 2 of which I lost. One was okay. I would rather lose the fight because for me, I can flip that in the starter. I'm gonna get on TMZ because they gonna think I'm some hurt puppy, like I got embarrassed. I'm like, no, fuck that, and I want a rematch. Well, I'll challenge Shaq, and then Shaq will have to respond because some dude. I would flip that. I would not want to find out my girl. And how did she cheat? Did they say how did she cheat or she just cheated?
No, she just cheated.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that drama. I'll get my ass whooped in public. You motherfuckers. I'll take that ass whooping. What y'all think?
Hold on. I got a follow-up question.
Okay.
All right. So your main goal is starting.
No.
In this scenario.
In those two scenarios, the pain of them being cheated on or me possibly, I can't turn that getting cheated on. I can't damage control that.
Do you remember Hurt
That's
Bay?
it.
Do you remember Hurt Bay? The
I remember
girl
that
who
hashtag.
her dude didn't want to fuck with her no more. And she was just crying. She don't care.
That type of life will never go positive for a dude. It'll never be
I was gonna say it could be the male Hurt.
No, I don't want her, but that's not my style.
Her
I'm funny,
bro.
baby.
Her bro.
Nah, but I would take, cause I'm humble about my shit. Listen, if you ever want to compete in anything, really, to truly compete, but in fighting, you have to be humble from day one. Even when you spawn, before you get in the ring, cause someone's always better than you, period, or better than you that day.
Yeah.
So I learned that easy. Like I got my ass whooped way more time before I won anything. And then with that fight, or my fight I lost, it's like, it's just what it is. So if you telling me I got my ass whooped, a real fighter gonna be like, who gives a nigga, everybody get their ass whooped, the best do.
You should have took your socks though. That was wrong.
He did take my socks.
You took your socks?
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
You ain't
No.
It went viral.
I was knocked out. He took my socks. He the fucking socks.
All right, what do you think, Denzel?
Nick said I don't wear socks.
You better be cheated on, man. I don't want
This
to be
nigga what get your you bugging.
Yo, you can get back from being cheated on easily.
Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
That's more of an emotional tie.
You go to the bar that night and you be like, yo.
Okay, so Marvin,
You
what
drink it
do you
away.
think good? What's the for fun?
He said you go to the bar tonight, get a
You
hooker.
go to the bar that
Hooker.
night? No, not get a hooker. You just be like, yeah, I just got
It's
cheated on.
an ego
That's
thing
why
for
I'm by myself.
Denzel.
So you don't. Why wouldn't you want to see your ass get whooped? I mean, the obvious reasons I don't want to see it. Your ass get whooped. But like compared to cheating.
No, he didn't say you lost a fight. He said your ass get whooped, yo.
Like, be bad.
And you a world star?
Like death.
Who
No,
wants
no,
that
no,
shit,
no. I'm talking about he's picking you, picks you up by the collar from the ground, and you do one of these, and he just smacks you back.
Yo,
down.
I see, cause y'all know me, man. I'm very self-deprecating.
I'm not talking
right?
about a knockout. I'm talking about like
Fucks me up.
Like
I'm still flipping.
your army crawling away from him,
Bruh.
and he's kicking your ankles.
I was still flipping. I would get a nice interview. Y'all know me, y'all. I would be in a nice interview and I would just be like, yo, he fucked me up. I would get a deal out of that shit. I'm telling you, I don't give a shit about that.
You gotta think about it.
I don't give. I'm gonna flip that to money. I'm making a rap song about me get my ass good. I'm telling you, bro. I will flip that.
What if 50 Cent your shit?
Y'all gotta understand. Niggas are positive.
I will flip
to the
that. I'm
point
telling
where, yo, you gotta take those losses with the wins, but what you do with the losses is you flip it into an opportunity that is supposed to
Come
be
on.
anyway.
So you did that.
Like
You
how
did me.
people say-
Come on, one more time.
Like just
What? Go there. I'm talking about.
Yo,
The viewers don't know that. I mean,
We gotta grow up. All right, listen. If I give a man props, I'm not saying he's put his dick in my ass, okay? So if I said you dig me, I'm
My
saying
God.
you got my mind frame,
Yeah,
right? Wakanda forever.
You penetrated his
real,
mind.
like-
no, not dick me forever. It's dig. Like
You dicked him forever.
no.
All right, so
You can't fish.
am I bugging? Oh, that's a good reference. I love South Park. What do you think? Did you not touch on this yet?
You already answered.
I didn't.
Who hadn't
I'm
touched
taking,
on
I'm
it?
taking, I'm
Go ahead,
taking the
bro.
hell of the fight.
Listen,
That's what
yo,
I'm saying because I'm not worried about
I
myself.
have nightmares about my girl
My
doing
thing
shit
is-
to me. Like it
because
fucks my morning. If I go to work, I call. I say we still good. Like
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
Because like I said, that's more of an emotional attachment. You can always, I mean, you can think about that ass whooping and about how it went viral, but eventually that shit's gonna die down. But you want to take L's and losses. I mean, like lesson learned. I mean,
Hey, mama.
it comes with the territory.
I didn't shit on myself.
Hey,
I
mama.
never-
No, you
I-
did.
I shit
don't
on-
think you got
that was
how
getting
bad
bad.
his ass was. Look, this is one of those. He says,
Did
"Get
I cry for
up."
mom
He gets
or
up and you go to limp, right? And you throw a punch, and he just
fuck.
open hand slaps you down.
let me add a reference to this,
God,
Marvin.
man.
He said he made you say no mas Poppy.
Poppy?
No,
All right, now we
Oh,
talking.
yeah.
No, maybe not. I like you fuck around. Now Poppy.
I'll take the
It's
cheese first. I'll take the
Poppy.
cheese
Ah.
Maybe he made you call him Poppy, right, Marvin? But he's also a Cuban midget.
Midget is not politically
It's a
correct,
midget.
sir. We do not stand
He's
by
a little
midget.
dude. He's
You
a
gotta say a
little
little
Keep it
person.
small, dude.
You gotta say you gotta
Yeah,
say a
like,
small
it's a
person.
little dude that literally like
Cuban?
that literally
You don't like
had you
Cubans,
dropped
huh?
to the ground.
Oh, shoot.
Because you call him Poppy.
Quick
Oh,
question.
okay, okay.
Why are you
Yeah,
talking about parking 55?
Right across from the top.
Yeah.
You good.
Okay. Alright.
No shit's about to be outside gone.
So now we're talking about if you get your ass whooped by a
That's
Cuban
alright.
little person.
A Cuban little dude.
What you say, Bob?
I don't know that's actually a better story for Nick's side of it.
Because it is more ridiculous than
Funny.
story. Like it's not expected.
Nigga
You got
actually
your
went-
ass whooped.
By
I could probably flip that better.
If it's a dude that's like 6'4",
You kinda understand it.
240, like just looks like Adrian Peterson,
Yeah.
and he punishes you,
I can play the victim like, what the fuck you want me to do? If I miss,
But
it's
if
his
it's a
fault.
midget, if it's a midget, how's that funnier? Is it funnier?
It is funny,
It is
bro.
funny.
I'm telling you.
It is funny.
what do you take your
No, yo, stop. Yo.
No, he can't take my man here, y'all. He can't take
no,
my man
okay,
here.
so this is what I'll say. I'd rather, right now in my current frame, I would say cheated. I'd rather get cheated on. Not because it's easy to get back, it's because it's easy to let go. You know, I'm not married, so there's no
Things
financial.
from his point of view, though.
Yeah, from my
If
point
I
of
was
view.
his age, I would say the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
shit, I'm
right.
good.
I have no,
Something
like,
coming up.
I have no, there's no financial
Yeah,
ties or any long-term commitment that I've been in recently. So if I was with a girl for like a month or two and I found out something happened, I'd be like, cool.
That's why it's cool we have a gentleman of this age, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have to be like, you know, I'm gonna get married. Like, no, man, I ain't taking that risk. He like, shit, I'm slinging, my
Yeah,
nigga. Talk about.
There would be no
Talk
revenge.
about.
There would be no revenge. I'd be like, all right, bet.
No, you 100% right.
Yeah, no,
I remember that. I can't bet. I was
I
like,
can't-
damn, man.
I'll get a load
Shit
of
ain't
my
the
right
same.
here. I need love.
Get over the
Right.
beat. Mom, you touch on this shit?
Yeah, I already said
He
that.
touched it first.
I ain't
See, I respect you.
No, I didn't.
I keep telling people to touch on it when they already touched
Hey,
on
come
it.
on, go ahead.
What?
The topics, god damn, that a topics game? God damn, can't talk about the topics.
Yo, topic.
Next topic.
Next time.
Touch that topic.
Touch that topic, yo.
Everybody already touched it. I just want to get touched.
Touch that topic, bro.
LT, you see how mine will come out perfectly? That's why you always pick mine. Because mine are like,
This motherfucker engineered the
I
perfect
like
note.
this topic roulette.
why you
Alright,
guys,
pick one.
why you guys,
That one.
Yep, that's been my pick.
why you guys folding it with the sticky side outside?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
That's why it's sticking and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Was that fake?
I thought it was fake too. Time's out. I thought it was fake. He ended with a genuine laugh. I said, oh, I guess it was fake. You heard that? He was like, ha ha
It
ha
turned
ha.
from me joking to me laughing at myself.
Ah, shit,
You
bro.
sound like SpongeBob.
Yo, Mom, yo, it was fake as shit. Then it got real at the end. I said, I was about to call that.
Yeah, I was waiting for the stale face, and I was like, it never came.
Never came. Confused the shit out. That should be the new
So
fake
we
laugh.
already did we already touch on this?
What's that?
That was
actually
last
didn't.
week. Remember, but it was going to be just me and you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about that.
All right. What do you name 5 of your fitness goals?
So just for us two now.
Man,
This is
No,
us
we
two now.
didn't do the show.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's new to everybody. Cool.
Denzel. 5 fitness goals.
Nick.
look better than Marvin.
Okay.
Physically?
Look,
Look.
everybody's got. Never have I ever been leader than Marvin.
Motherfucker. Marvin?
That's 1, 2, and
Well,
3.
you did say goal. Okay. He said 1, 2, and 3. You need 3 goals for that.
That's
Okay.
1,
What's
2,
the
and
last
3.
2?
Number 2 is 5'9", 187. I was playing Street Fighter last night. Ryu is 5'9", 187. So I was like, shit. If he can look like that, 5'9".
He's 5'9".
Yeah, he's 5'9".
Are you
Ryu.
5'9"?
Yeah, I'm 5'9".
So I'm
Yeah.
5'8" then.
Nigga, you
5'9"
5'6".
too.
I am 5'6". Fuck y'all. I don't know what I
Alright, and 3. I don't have a third one, yo. So this is my own
What you
goal.
mean 3? No, you had your first 3. You had one more.
Alright, one more.
No, give him.
He said the first, but the shit was so ridiculous to say he could be better looking than Marvin. He said he take 3 of them.
It was so ridiculous. Really?
Hey, he said that. He said,
I want chest like Marvin.
Thanks, hey, Marvin. Arms like
Arms
Marvin.
like Marvin.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna be able to eat fucking waffles all the time and still be lean.
We don't know what he
oh,
eats.
my only
You don't
goal.
know if he eats
Nigga,
waffles.
I've seen him, yo. He doesn't give a fuck. No, he doesn't, yo.
I'm kind.
What?
You eat
Do you eat clean?
I don't think you do, yo.
Yo,
You don't never make no clean posts. That's the only fat motherfucker trying to lose weight make clean posts.
Oh, yeah, my
Mama be like, just.
Look, one time, listen, he said he ordered like almonds and said salted and started giggling.
No,
Yo, do you eat clean, yo?
almonds.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
no, actually, I do.
He eats soul
No,
food 7 days a week, yo.
It's not that I eat soul food. It's the fact that I
Lucky
eat the same. It's literally like I'll eat turkey meatballs. Okay, I'll eat turkey meatballs. I eat spinach,
Balls?
I eat
Do you gay turkey?
I had
Go ahead.
No, I'm not that on that shit.
Alright,
Alright, talk.
but I eat
He was dead. You can keep asking for shit.
Come on, yo, turkey meatballs.
turkey meatballs. I
Turkey
eat
balls to the
chicken.
face. Come on.
Stop, yo.
Alright. Denzel, stop it!
Hey, look, what he does on his weekends, that's up to him. I mean, I'm just going by what I eat. I don't know what he does, but
Yo, your abs say opposite, bro. I don't give a fuck. I feel like you lying to us, bro.
Yo, you
No homo, bro.
I-
Your abs, dog.
You
I'm
like a
vegan.
vegan,
I
yo.
eat, yo,
You like
I
a
eat
vegan
protein,
ass
I eat
motherfucker.
vegetables, I eat fruits, all that kind of stuff. I still eat.
You need to meal prep. Fuck that technique shit. You there. You need to start selling meal prepping. Because your body says meal prepped. My shit say, I just go with it.
erotic, yo.
No, it does when you
not.
say that. I'm giving them props on meal prepping. Now you talking
And
about
I
dick
appreciate
prepping.
that, yo.
Yo, he eats pizza, yo.
Well, lie. Everybody
Yeah,
get lied to. Lie to these
No,
motherfuckers.
I don't. I really don't even like pizza that much. Yo, we
Yeah, he-
Oh, so that's your 5 goals. You did your
I
5
told
goals.
you were a pussy. But no, you said you had 2.
What?
He says little pussy because I don't eat pizza. I don't
Why
understand.
don't you eat pizza?
Yo, I don't like this shit.
Have you ever had-
Oh, we never knew that about you.
Give me some sesame chicken from fucking Seafood Wok up
I
there.
ain't mad at
on
that
Bills.
either. But why not pizza?
The fact that he eats that seafood, why? You
Yeah,
know,
I
and
said
he still got these
sesame
abs, yo. The reason we don't is because we do eat at seafood, why, yo.
I don't ever see you in seafood wok,
I've
motherfucker.
never seen you at seafood watch.
Seafood Wok up the street. Those
Yo, we did 5
Yo,
days a week.
true. They got the best fucking half and halves too. They keep them in the refrigerator.
Yo, he drinks half and half, and he's got abs,
He
yo.
doesn't drink the half and half. He gets a salad, half kale, half spinach. I'm on to your shit. So you got one
I
more
haven't
goal.
had a sugary
You got
treat
What's
two
your-
more.
what's
You
your
got
in
two
like
last
more.
5 years,
You need
yo.
to have 2 more goals.
My 3 goals is Marvin.
Yeah, the 4th one was waffle.
Eat waffles and be 187.
Yeah, 5'9".
You want to eat waffles? We can do that right now.
Nigga, I want to be able to eat
He said all
waffles.
the time,
I want to be able to
though.
eat
He
waffles
said
all the time and still have abs. And
you
not
know
even,
what?
not even
Okay, so that's one
You
goal,
don't see
right?
what I-
So we got one
I'm
more.
listening
I'm
to
not.
No, he had that one. He
He's
said that
5'9",
one.
187.
Right, you
While
want to
eating
be
waffles.
Yes.
So that's one.
No, that's 2 separate
No,
goals.
that's 2 separate goals.
The
that just-
5'9", 187 was like a
And
size
so then you
one.
want to
and
be able to
then
eat
one
waffles and eat waffles and keep it.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to take insulin. Go ahead.
5 goals. I would like to be lean, like Marvin. Fuck that, man. We're going to kiss your ass.
Yo, be
today,
lean
dog.
like me, yo.
I would like
goals
to
should be me, yo. My
fitness
goals mine.
goals. I would like to have my legs. I want my legs to be a prominent part of my figure. Like I don't want to be the jail guy, right? Coming out of jail, all he got is like a body. I want a thick legs. So legs. I would like to really become much more flexible. I feel like, especially for fighting, my shoulders and my dexterity in my hips much more flexible. So that's 3, right? 4, much better cardio. I'm just gonna go down the fucking basic list. I would like to have really good cardio.
Oh, so sorry. So the part of the goal is to have it like with tangible
like certain parts of your body.
like the measurements. So like when you say better cardio.
All right, so I would like to run like a 6-minute mile, 6.5 minute mile.
Yeah.
6
And when you say shoulder flexibility, you want better shoulder flexibility. You want to do that like that. You ever collapse your hands behind?
Yes.
This is literally as far back as it goes.
I would like to. I don't know the yoga stances, but I would like to be maybe like a level. If it's a level 1 to 5, like a level 3 yoga.
You want to do yoga?
No, I've done it. It's very, very. First of all, it tells you a lot of your weak points. Structurally, like if you don't know you had a bad shoulder, you'll find out.
Yoga Tuesday.
They do it 3 days a week and always meals at 8 o'clock. I don't know.
My friend
teaches
teaches a yoga class.
Man, fuck your friend. I'm trying to go on the weekend.
All
right, so that was 4. I got one more.
He got one more.
I got one more.
They make
All
you
right.
wear compression.
I would like to be what's the word in fitness or like bodybuilding with like the same size? No.
Symmetrical.
Symmetrical. I would like to. I don't want to have like real big triceps and small body. I would like to be. Yeah.
Very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, but that is symmetrical. All right.
I bet Daniel can run a 6-minute mile right now. If like you push yourself to the limit, and you might die literally like right afterwards, but I bet you probably could do it.
So meaning like you're running from a lion.
Running from a lion.
He caught your ass and you die right after.
No, if I'm running from a lion, I'm gonna turn and fight.
No, what I'm saying is, I see if Marvin runs a 6-minute mile,
I have a better chance fighting him fresh than tired.
No, you don't have a chance fighting in period.
No, better chance.
Like
I get
0.1 to 0.2.
I see what this point is. Like even
0.1 to 0.2.
After that mile, mile and a half, and that wind start catching up, and that line is still on your ass. You're not gonna be able to do it.
I'm not saying I'm gonna see the I'm not saying I'm gonna see the lion coming and I'm gonna pull guard. I'm saying when the lion comes, I'm gonna.
You get 5 extra seconds.
I'm gonna give the best Hadouken.
Yeah.
I got.
No, 100% agree.
Because the lion,
you get 1 punch off instead of no punch.
The lion's not used to slipping and moving, and so I got one right up the middle. He's trying to throw out of his shit, and if I lose. Look, he's gonna be dragging my arm. I'll be like, still got a broken jaw. But if I'm tired, then I'm just like a antelope just laying there.
Yeah, you like a baby antelope.
The way you gotta eat your ass first. That's how I use.
That's how you.
You know, this is gonna be a good point though. I really want to hear your fitness goals because as you can see, me kissing your ass. It's me and Denzel.
I got you.
All right, so
bench 135 5 times.
Shit, you dirty bitch.
Ain't that a bit? All right, so one of my fitness goals is to actually and I literally just probably decided this maybe like I want to say maybe a couple weeks ago, but I want to win. I actually want to go to a fitness competition, win first place. That's one goal. Second goal, I actually want to be able to reach a bench of 405 pounds at least for a maximum rep.
Woo!
Then as far as
speak a little bit.
So then my legs, I think they're at like 23 right now. So I want to put like 2.5, maybe 3 inches.
Get 26.
So I want to try to hit like 26 on my legs. Fourth is probably become one of the bigger names in actual fitness training.
Damn.
To be reputable in that state. And the fifth one I would have to say is
sponsored by oil company.
Now that's homoerotic. Continue. Because imagine you loyaled up with your shirt off. You didn't talk to your homie at this motherfucking part. He said, You heard him say,
That's what y'all
bitch.
No, I thought you meant like. I thought you meant like.
I was thinking that shit for the past 5 minutes.
Bro, he thought of our podcast member oiled up with a shirt off, man.
I thought you meant like synthol, like stab.
Oh, you talking about the stab like the Brazilian motherfucker? That would be a shame.
So that was your 5. That's your 5 goals.
Those solid 5.
No, that was my 5th goal. You can't. How you gonna take what he's saying and put it on my 5th goal? Like you taking your tire off and then putting it on one of his cars.
Yo, we ain't gonna let you ride with that shit, though. I ain't gonna let you ride with that. I'm telling you,
y'all gave him the goal for real.
No, bro, you imagine Marvin with his shirt off, oiled up. You feel like that was the perfect
No, he didn't do it.
I didn't do that.
It's like coming for you too, right?
Like literally for the rest of us, you guys can't make eye contact. Y'all go together.
You go together. If y'all dap today,
If you stay and you go home to your wife, you guys are technically cheating on each other.
Yeah,
So,
no,
all right. So what's your fifth goal, Mr. Marshall?
Mr. Marshall.
Stop, yo. That's
He
gay.
said, Mr. He called you the bitch.
Really?
Stop, yo.
Yeah,
Your fifth goal. Don't
that
even
really-
let
that-
that
motherfucker here.
nigga. That don't even have
Meet
any.
me at the altar with your white top.
Be the under. Hey.
Fuck you guys.
When the joke come back to you, don't get.
Oh no, I want to let him. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I don't take jokes easy. I'm hard with
That's
that.
all right though. We gonna.
No, chill. I'm all right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Go.
What's your
fifth
fifth
goal?
goal?
Would have to be, I guess. I want to be sponsored by some of the biggest names.
like Gerber's baby oil.
I would like, you know what, fuck that. If I could ever get that type of shape where Gerber's baby oil sponsor me for my muscles, that's some G shit, my guy. You know why they like, come on.
Hey, hold on, can you imagine the commercial though?
It's overrated. They
Baby
try to
oil.
sponsor me to get rid of stretch marks.
This shit ain't work.
Huh? Well,
What's going to your goals?
Yeah, we got yours.
it got banned. They said no female breast could be on there. It was so 5 goals. One.
It was a Gerber joke. I heard you doing it.
One. It would be to finish the Spartan race.
Okay.
in May.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. 2.
Are we all doing that?
I'm doing it.
Did y'all
Yeah.
put that in the group?
I'm
Y'all
trying
ain't
to
sign up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you better hurry up.
How much is it?
I don't
It's
know
not
how much
cheap,
the last
though.
tickets were.
I know.
What's not cheap?
I heard
Over
it.
100?
This shit was
It's
like
over 100, yo.
this shit was
I
like
can't do
$200.
That was not long. I
Man,
can't
I'm
do
getting
it.
by. I'm in the process of buying.
That
all
niggas
these
better
people's
buy
house.
tickets to the Dominican Republic.
They made
That's
it,
more of a plan than
That's
this.
more of a plan.
they made look they made it seem like it was gonna be like $20. I go to it's okay.
I said
The
60.
total was 163. I was like decline. Lower than me.
I already got the villa for us in the Dominican, yo.
Not with Spartan. We talking about Spartan.
So we
No.
can just get a boat.
Alright, no, we just-
okay. So one is finish the Spartan race.
Spartan race. Let's go.
At one point in my life, hopefully for 30. I really don't want to be lifting heavy after 30, or caring about it that much. But I want to hit the 6, 7, 8 club. 6 bench, 7 squat, 800
I've
deadlift.
seen that online. I never knew what that meant. Okay.
The 6, 7, 8 club.
Okay.
That's
You
a
can
tough.
be dead.
Hold on, what's 678?
600 bench, at least 600 bench, 700 squat, 800 deadlift every month. Like at one period, like 1 year, you've accomplished all those. That is tough ground.
What about the 344 club?
Huh?
The 344
That's
club.
what us,
That's
right?
what I'm trying to get.
No, that's actually on the, it's
That's
on the,
different levels. Yeah.
that's on the wall at Lynn Bricks.
I can do 344.
Lim Bricks.
Oh fuck! God damn, he got me on that one.
You really did.
Oh!
You really did
You
that.
tripped straight into that.
Hey, yo, let me see your foot real quick.
God damn!
No,
Bro.
his shoes is fucked up now. He
He
shot
did.
himself in the foot.
He got me. Damn, that was smooth. Y'all niggas
Damn.
go right into that. I was like, danger.
And I was, when he said it, I was
He
like,
was like,
I can do more than that.
I can do that right now.
Look, it was funny as it was coming up and I was getting shitted on. I said, hold up, that's not really shit at all. What the fuck? And then he looked at me like, bitch.
Damn,
Yo,
son.
gym membership having nigga. All right, that was fucked up.
Damn.
So you got the Gerber's baby oil was your first one. What's the second one?
No.
He almost had
I think with the
you. He almost had
two-
you. He almost had you.
No, the first one was Spartan race.
Finish the Spartan race.
Second one was
6, 7, 8 club.
7, 8. Third.
And 6, 7, 8 club. I would want to be under 10%. Just, you know.
Damn, you had the 10%, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8.
Yeah. Probably not at the same. Maybe not at the same time. But if it was at the same time, yeah. I mean, I probably had to be like juicing. Do it at the same time because I would need more. I need a little bit of fat.
What's our time at?
Yeah,
no, we good. We good on time. We good on time. Yo, can we touch one topic?
Oh,
I know I put in there.
No, he got 2 more goals. He got 2 more goals.
He still got
Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Spartan race, finish it. 6, 7, 8 club. Under 10% body fat. I'd want to run a sub 6 mile.
Ooh.
Yeah. And my last is going to surprise a lot of you.
It's not looking like me.
Set the world record for no. It set the record for a consecutive what's it called? Dougies. Right now it's 4 hours and 35 seconds.
So that would be a fitness.
That's
thing.
a fitness goal, yo.
Yeah, it is cardio.
Yo, cardio is a motherfucker.
Oh, okay. I thought you was being smart, but I said, okay, let me see.
No, the last one is in that same period of time that I want to hit the 6, 7, 8 club. I want to finish a marathon, a full marathon, not a quarter, not a half.
Like a 20-something mile joint.
26.5 miles, 26.2 miles.
Oh, it's not in there.
I want to finish a marathon.
Real quick, so since you are technically the strongest guy in the room, right? And you're saying that something, what was it, something 8, right? So
6, 7,
8. Then you got the motherfuckers in the Arnold Classic, whatever the fuck, they're doing over 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
What, try to explain that to a motherfucker who's never really gonna ever reach that. What, like, is it grip? Is it, like, what's the load you feeling? Like, what the fuck is 1,000? I mean, you haven't felt it, but if you could break it
If
down.
I felt 1,000, it's because a car ran over me.
It was like 4 tires.
What is it? So what's it feel like to have like? I mean, I've had 7 in my hands.
What does that feel? Is it more load on your grip? Well, you guys use the
Your
reps, right?
grip is important. If you have a guy that can do the, if you have a guy that can do the deadlift without any
Right,
reps
right.
and it's just his hands, he has a little bit of extra torque because he doesn't have to worry about the grip. You don't have to worry about the grip. My God, the grip is the first thing that goes.
Yeah, grip.
Grip.
The first thing that goes.
Grip.
Then for me, it's like trying to find that balance between you want to hang your shoulders as much as possible while not hanging them outside the socket so they get dislocated. But literally keeping it like here, because if you come here, tearing your rotator cuff. If you come here, you're dislocating your shoulder.
Fuck,
So
see, that's some detail.
when you get above, when you get above, pretty much above 500 or depending on your body type, that heavy load number.
Yeah.
The shoulder positioning can be the difference between you finishing
Living and
like this or finishing in double cast. Because I mean, I've seen people do that little, when you jack up, right?
Yeah, it's always.
Oh yeah.
Where
fuck your back up.
you can try, if you can keep your core tight and try to just shoot your hips through, because that's basically all the deadlift is. What you get here is getting your ass from back here to up here. You're literally just trying to shoot your hips. You shoot your hips, you're standing up, right? So what a lot of people do though is instead of shooting the hips, they try to, straighten their back up, and then they pull, and that's when you start seeing people tearing their. So when you get to the heavier weight and you go to the switch grip, any type of I was boom, whole chest is purple, everything's purple. So that gets scary. So when I say I want to deadlift 8, I'm not looking at that for a little while. I'm maybe hitting 675 now, but if I really cared, I'd probably be like 750. But people don't. It takes a long time. People say, "Oh, I just hit 300, 400 next month." No, it's not. Not if you just barely hit 3. No, it's not. It's like 6 months down the road if you push it. Because there's a lot of things to factor in.
Yeah. Let's do a deadlift day one day, all of us.
Oh yeah, we should.
If you see
that deadlift part
if
we had the last time.
if you like,
And
my
my grip went
instead of
Denzel was rolling. He got the fucking
I
gorilla.
was on that shit that day, yo.
Yeah.
So we all answered that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must go to that day, y'all.
Shit, we need to get back on fitness a little bit more.
So look.
yo, you do.
Shout out.
Nice.
Those are hard.
Creative blessings.
Yeah. Creative blessing.
Tony.
What's the name of the company?
Creative blessings.
Marvin said it 5 times.
I said it about 5 times.
One more motherfucking time. Yo, shout out to the homie, Creative Blessings. We got the bees. I got the bees. Nobody else to support. You know what I'm saying?
And the hat?
Fuck
No, I
the boys.
support. I got something made from. You know what I mean?
It ain't here.
Okay.
Yo, I'll start supporting again once I finish with this.
No, you be the fans, man.
I'm sorry.
All right, so next
I love
time.
y'all.
Hold on. Not sure about this fucking.
Man, fuck your stream.
You ain't worry about your shit, man.
How you in that shit,
YouTube
yo?
livers.
Oh.
Hey, look, we're going to go through the handles real quick. MG2_fit. Danny. At Danny_lifts.
And the ambiguous.
Keep rolling.
Nicky
Cool.
Nick, that's Nicky with a K.
I'll pick it up.
Denzel.
You good.
Skywalker.
Denzel Skywalker.
All right, so next question.
All right.
Oh, yeah, don't forget to email us questions, concerns, vibes. We need them. Let's get them, baby.
What up?
Give it to us.
Catch me with
He
that
caught you
fucking
with that
shit,
shit, too?
yo.
Yeah, I caught. No.
That's kind of in my line of sight, though. You can't, like, sneak it up like,
All right.
hey.
No, that's why. To be fair, I kept it down here.
Fred.
Hey yo, I'm not with it.
I'm horrible. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Sorry,
All
Mom.
right, so why do guys feel like they have to wait until they have everything together before proposing.
Ooh, let me
as
talk
if
on this first.
as if getting engaged will hinder them from getting things done.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, so many. We do one more time.
Who's that
One
from?
more
Who's that
time.
from? You guys
And who's that
It's
from?
the
Elizabeth. Yeah.
The Elizabeth.
And read it one more time. I want to really make sure I hit this shit.
Let's go again.
She actually she didn't want my opinion alone. She was like, I need the whole.
The whole.
I need
Yeah,
more
I need
information.
a broad
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
We got
Well, thank
so
you.
many different levels of this. We can really
Yeah,
dig
we
into
do.
this.
We
Go
go.
ahead.
We go. Yeah. All right. So once again, from D
I'll go
Elizabeth.
third.
Thank you very much.
I'll go third.
Why do guys feel like they have to wait until they have everything together before proposing, as if getting engaged will hinder them from getting things done? Who wants to go first?
Marvin.
What?
He got me.
He said, what? He put it down like you know you ain't have a turn yet. He was like, who wants to go first? Nigga said, Mark. He was like, what?
No, because look, I tapped Nick and say Marvin.
Yeah, you gotta say
All right, go ahead.
I don't have to go. You want to go first?
No.
Does anybody want?
All
I
right, so
go
listen.
Okay.
You go first. No,
You
you
want me
go
to
first.
go?
No, I really want you to go
As
first.
the
Why you
least
really want me to
qualified
go?
person to talk about
I'm
it.
not qualified either.
You gotta go first. I'm going to
Maybe
talk
the
about
second
it.
guy should
Yo,
go first.
somebody go first.
You engaged,
Go
motherfucker?
first,
I
yo.
got
We
it.
scared as shit. We all shook, dog. We talking about everything under the sun. We like, man, who could go first? Who go?
I think we should go alphabetical order, eh?
All right, go ahead, Mom. Go ahead, touch.
All right, so
I bet you wish you
some guys, it does necessarily depend on the guy himself. However, sometimes when guys feel like they need to have everything together, is for one, they need to make sure that they want to be loyal to that person and be completely honest with that person during the time, because they have to make sure that they have to understand that once they get locked into this, you locked in. Like, I mean, you can get out of it eventually if you want to, but however, it's a lot of stimulation to that anyway. But if guys want to get, I mean, it's a lot of different aspects. Not only with the whole loyalty and the trust factor, but also with providing factor, because you have to understand that when
Speak on it on Easter Sunday.
thank you, appreciate
That's
it.
exactly what I was going to Keep going.
So,
I like where you're going.
Because when that young lady has to take on your last name, then essentially you're completely and solely responsible for that person. Like, that's your family. So you have to be able to provide, you have to be able to protect, you have to be able to do all the necessary actions in order to make sure that life is supposed to be the way it's supposed to be.
anymore.
Yeah, so it's what do you say? It's levels to this shit.
It's levels, sir. The financial, the emotional
Yeah,
responsibility.
because you got to take on each other's debt. You have to take on each other's emotions. You have to take.
Do you understand what credit is?
Credit is a motherfucker. Let me tell you.
Financial responsibility.
If you don't, when Jay-Z said that shit, and everybody like, oh man, we all know what credit is. Well, let's get shit real, because if you really think you got credit, you really don't.
Yeah.
Them 500s ain't sliding, baby.
No! Oh, God.
Five
You
fifties
like
ain't sliding.
that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Come on.
Also, financial responsibility,
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
responsibility.
You got yeah.
Anything else?
Like
Rolling, bro.
I mean, just even on an emotional level, like you have to be emotionally prepared to understand that you have to literally whatever this person is feeling at this particular point in time, whenever you're dealing with a situation, you have to be able to soak that in and not just give a response and defense. You have to come up with a resolution or a compromise that's going to work for both of you guys. It's not just about where you can dip at this point in time anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like you have to listen and understand where that person is coming from. Because if you don't understand where that person is coming from, or they don't understand where you're coming from, because you both are just trying to talk to get your point across, then it's never going to be resolved. And if it never gets resolved, then there's going to be unrelieved tension throughout the rest of the relationship. And
Compared to you didn't have the ring, it was more like, see you when I see you.
It's more like, I see you when I see you, or, that's when the phone calls and the text messages start to slow down, and, you start to distance each other, and that infatuation period is now over. They say that there's an infatuation period from anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Who's that?
Male and female.
Let the man slide on the stage. Now he wants to know the medical journey. You going
I don't know. I want to say that
But once you get past that infatuation period, now this is like where the real work starts to begin, because you really start to see also to another level with that person's like goals and what they want to work on doing.
This sounds like some deep thought from a man.
And sometimes it takes years to develop those new goals and those new standards and stuff like that you want to put yourself into. because a person is always and forever evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need one of those.
So you said 6 months to a year. I'm only saying, I only gave you a hard time on that because I feel like I'm more infatuated with mine now than I was even 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's just a point to think about, but
no,
you next. I'm going last.
So you pretty much, you dug into a lot of what I wanted to say, right? And articulate it in your own way. I think to try to find anything else to add and not hold on to it, I think really is when that stage when you're going from like, even when you're in a relationship and you're quote unquote like it's me and you, it's not real. It's not like an object attached to it that constantly reminds you. And that's something retarded. I don't really agree with engagement rings, but it's been ingrained in our fucking psyche that this is the next stage, right to the marriage stage, which is your final stage, right? Like you fully uploaded or upgraded. So like it's not so much that you can say like, you know, this is my girlfriend or my boyfriend, but I can still be in somebody's DM or whatever. Now you got a ring that's like, even when you're not around, it represents like a union or a bond. Even though it's not marriage yet, it's just that next level. And I think with guys, along with the emotional and the part of it and the financial part of it, like now she represents me. It's not so much like
I forgot about that.
It's really that sexual aspect. Depending on when you go into that engagement stage and you find someone and your ability to attract the other sex, you are fucking a lot. And now you gotta really be like, damn. Not only I can no longer do what I want to do. Because even when you got a girlfriend or boyfriend, sometimes a lot of times these relationships is like kind of fake. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's my boyfriend, but it's not real. When you get that engagement ring, that's that next level to the final level. And now you can't be out in these streets. Like, you know, fucking around. Because, all right, Marvin, you cheat on your girlfriend. He a dog. That's my girlfriend. Fuck him. You cheat on your fiance. Now it's his fiance.
You make her look bad. You make yourself
it's
look
like this,
bad.
You know, the way we thinking, you cheated on your. And the next step is your wife. You cheated on your wife?
Alimony.
Oh, you cheated on your husband?
Yeah.
Damn.
Alimony.
Now you cheated on your pockets because you by yourself and you in a fucking shack and she living good.
He touched on a lot of it. Yeah. I think if anything I could add would be that really understanding that I can't be out there anymore.
Yeah, and
I don't have
that
boyfriend.
I also like the representation.
I didn't have too much to add.
If I go somewhere, I have to hold myself to a certain kind of standard because anybody can be like, yo, that's Monica husband. Or the same thing with her. She be like, well, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
you see it. It's like, right there.
It's right there.
We're straying from the question a bit.
Well,
yeah, no, we definitely straight, but we...
No, repeat the question then.
Oh, so why do guys feel like they have to wait until they have everything together before proposing? As if getting engaged will hinder them from getting...
So the other part... No, this is the other part.
Because he said...
My sexual needs and like saying I cannot put my needs sexually first anymore. Me getting it together. A lot of times I'm like, no, I want another summer. Like, not the financial stuff.
To be able to say...
Like, get myself together, like, all right, it's time for me to go to this next mode.
That's why,
that was really a thing for me. Like, honestly, like, okay, I cannot be out here anymore. I got to shake some of these, not demons, but like,
you can go
along with the financial shit of like taking care of someone and getting the money for the ring.
Yeah, so
the money for the ring wasn't that hard for me. It was like, am I
hard.
ready to go to this next step of my life? Am I emotionally ready, right? And am I physically ready, like on a physical level, to not want to be out there anymore?
How about we ask the only person that this question even has anything to do with?
This is a very unique perspective to it.
No, nigga, it's you.
You have a real good insight.
You're the only person that has to actually actively.
This is the next stage of your evolution
of
no more vagina.
Oh, what was the second part to the question? I think that was the part that we missed.
That's so it's just as if getting engaged will hinder them from getting things done. That's why it was a different. That changed.
Right. So this makes sense for you, right?
So then the second part to it, I can make this real sweet and simple because when a lot of times when guys, once they get engaged or whatever the case is, and you got to think about the second person, then that's where they're like, that's where they get kind of
fuck up their whole groove or everything else.
So then they're like, well, you know, I don't, because I still want to be able to be me, whatever the case is, and I don't want her to take that away from me, whatever the case, you know. So it goes to the distinct part where
I heard it completely different than you guys. So
elaborate.
When you guys are saying like, you know, you get in the last nuts off and you know.
No, emotional, financial responsibility of taking on someone else.
I was talking
about I couldn't repeat what he said. Mine's more primal.
Okay.
I started with you.
Okay.
What it is. So, you know, that's how you guys felt about it. For me, it'd be strictly financial. So if I'm even thinking about getting engaged with somebody, me in relationships, the reason why I can walk away from a relationship with such ease is because I don't cheat. I leave. If I get to, like, see, if
you want to cheat, you rather leave.
If I'm with a girl and I get that urge to cheat, I leave. Because I do. That's how it's always been. So if I'm even thinking about getting engaged to this woman, I've already been in that locked in zone for a minute at this point. So for me, it'd be like, what is my greatest barrier from dropping down to a knee? And it'd have to be finances, and because at that level, I'm the guy. This is my ideal situation. I want a wife that doesn't have to work, but she wants to because of her own separate ambitions. Mm-hmm. But I need to be able, in my mind, before I make her commit to anything, can I make up for whatever she would potentially lose in her salary if she didn't work? Mm-hmm. And so that would be my mindset, is like making sure all those affairs are in order so I can be almost exclusively, I can be that provider. If everything fails with her, if she, gets sick and she can't work, can my money keep us afloat?
What if you find out before that stage in your life becomes present?
Huh?
Are you willing to risk that? Maybe you're in grad
that's
school and you're not in that stage where you're going to be, right? You're putting the work in, but she's also not willing and ready. I guess it kind of ties back to the question of waiting. Like, I love you now, Danny. I see your potential. Yes, I understand that you financially you don't want to take on that next step before, but I'm not going to wait now, or I'm going to find someone else.
I would look at her in the face and say, well, what is your obsession with marriage? Is it marriage to me or is it marriage to the state? Because if she's gonna walk away because there's not a document that says that we're in love,
or engagement, we're talking about engagement.
Possibly not.
Hear me out. Oh yeah, but no, I'm just saying, like that,
I got you.
At that moment, if she's willing to walk, if that's her intention to walk, then I'm gonna shake her hand and say thank you for saving me trouble.
What if she wants compromise? Like, we understand your financial goals and what you got set, but because you may be like, okay, let's say this. We engage, but we won't take the next and final step of marriage until maybe you're closer to some of your goals. Like, so you compromise with me, give me the ring so I'm not out here being the only boy. This is what I used to get. I'm the only girlfriend in the table full of wives. I used to always get that.
And I'll be like,
that's a good thing.
And okay, so if she's the only girl, if she came to me, not in that situation, I'm the only girlfriend at a table full of wives, I deserve to be engaged. I'm like,
I want to. Yeah,
I was like, well, it's too bad that men ain't single. You're with me.
It really depends on how much she likes you. If she takes that. No, it depends. If she likes him, like, you know what? I mean, I don't think he'll say it exactly like that.
You guys have to understand, but by the time that she was with me, right, in this light, she has been with me. She hasn't been with you, and then she hasn't been with you guys or the next dude,
right.
And then, in terms of like our single relationship, I haven't been you, and then when it got to that moment, I was me. She seen me make very practical decisions, and I stand on my own 2 feet on what I said.
So we pushing our ideas on you in your scenario, and
that doesn't work. No, you guys. So hold on, hear me out. You guys are pushing your relationship, how you be in your relationship, and then the proposal, looking at it like, what would I would not do that, but that's not you.
No, right now it's not you because how old are you? 25?
It doesn't matter.
He's not gonna
no,
change
what I'm saying, it's going to be a woman in his life someday that's going to want to make a move, and we're talking about this engagement, and maybe it'll be like, okay, you know what, you're right, you found me at the right time, or he might be the other side. There's only 2 ways you can go to it. Mm-hmm. Either you're ready to answer her request, or you're like, no, I need to not do it for whatever reasons. Yeah. And I was just trying to see how he would react to it. If she's like, well, like, and assuming that you like her, like, nothing love too. We're emotional creatures. We're not like an algorithm. It's like you can be like, yo, I like this person, but then be like,
she's not going. There isn't going to be.
Why does she want to do this? But I love her.
I'm looking at it like there's not going to be.
It may not be like.
You have to understand. I know my temperament, and so if she said, if you don't marry me, we're dating. There's no other issues, right? Mm-hmm. We have our debates because I want a woman that I can debate with, somebody that I respect her in the life. And so we have our debates and disagreements, right? And she says to me that her deal breaker is that I have not proposed to her, and I'm like, you willing to leave me if I don't put this rock that has an arbitrary meaning of obligation?
Don't get mad. I 100% agree with that.
And she says yes, I'm willing to leave, and I'm like, will you save me down the road? What was the next thing? What was the next material thing that was a representation of my love? Mm-hmm. What was the next thing she couldn't get 5 years from now when our bank accounts are mute?
Hold on, you can't think that far like that.
Why not?
No. You did both ways.
Hold on.
You gotta have a point.
I'm not saying she won't be a different person, but I'm saying principles matter. Like if It's like the people that's like, if you stay with someone, the reason I don't stay with a cheater is because I know that they have that potential. They'll always have the potential because they've already shown that.
You go there.
So there's no point. There's no point in me. So of course she can change. Of course she can never ever do it again. But I know in my heart that she has that. That's in her genes. I don't need that around. I don't need to know that's around. And so if I leave, if I'm talking to this girl, right, and if I don't put this rock on her finger, she'll leave me. What happens when? Oh, all the like we're living here. We're making X amount of dollars. Everyone in our neighborhood, their wives bought them not Range Rovers, like Rolls Royces type shit, like Rolls Royces, and I want a Bugatti, or I want this, or I want that. Bugatti. I'm with you. I'm thinking about the Bugatti money. I'm like, but yeah, someone, and they're like, I deserve this. If you really love me, you would give me this. And
but it's a whole different thing to say, if you really love me, you'll commit to me forever, than to say, if you really love me, you'll get me a material possession.
But in 2000, insert number is a marriage commitment. We see weekend marriages all the time. Yep. No, marriage is validation. If you need to seek validation in a rock, then I'm with the wrong girl.
I'm not certain it is me, but let me.
What?
I'm the only one that hasn't given a opinion yet. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, you guys ready?
Listen.
I like
gotta listen to Denzel Paul.
Gotta listen.
I like to play devil's advocate.
I want to hear. All right. Articulate your point.
How many of us here, right? You've had a job that you aren't going to be willing to commit and say, "I'll take this job and whatever it has in the future forever," right? Whatever the job you've worked.
Oh, just
you wouldn't commit.
And you take the job and you're going to quit in 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of times. Not my point.
So.
Just in case she watching this 1 second, you trying to leave me? I'm saying that. Not my current job. I love you, motherfuckers. Literally.
Most of us have seen Power, right?
No, I've seen
Never watched Power.
They say this is a big rich town.
Oh, yeah. So Ghost, he had a wife, but he had a girl that he preferred over his wife. And he really wanted to wife shorty, like the one outside of his wife. He's looking at her like she's actually the next step forward, right? Ooh. Okay. How many of us, right? And this is a question that I'm asking, playing devil's advocate, right? But some of your exes, you're like looking back, you're like, I'm glad I did.
Oh, this is an add-on question?
Or? No, I'm not adding on. I'm telling the answer. This is the real answer. The real answer is this.
No, go ask your question.
How many of your exes you look at now and you're like, I'm glad I didn't end up wifing
her. Man.
Oh my
right?
God.
So white crazy as shit.
If we can all agree to that, the real answer possibly is not that you being with them is going to hinder you from getting things done. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's you don't think that you with
the right one.
It's
kind of like a subconscious instinct that you're talking about.
Really, you looking at her like, yo, if you would have wifed every girl, if you'd have wifed the girls in your past, that was like, why didn't you engage me? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be with, you know what I'm saying? Right. The one you with now. So you looking at it now like, you looking at it now like,
that's some real man shit, bro.
Like,
no, you didn't mean it like that.
Come on, yo.
It's your fault, pretty much.
Basically.
It's
something that they have to know that you're the right one for.
Or it's the relationship's fault. It may not just be the problem.
It may not work.
And you're forcing it because you think maybe it's some time attached. He's not willing to engage because he don't really fuck with you.
But he's not going to say, you ain't the one. Yeah. I'm not going to do it.
He may be waiting for that right time to know if you actually are.
That could definitely be taking place. But for me, like, if I was with my dream girl, there's a
You already love her.
Yeah.
You already
Oh, you can already love a girl.
Girls search for love. Guys search for right?
Do?
Well, because listen, if you can love a girl.
I don't think so, bro.
Here, hear me out.
Please do.
So you can love a girl, right? You can love a girl, and she says, "Hey, let's go out this weekend, right?" Mm-hmm. And your boys wanted you to go hang out with them. If you just love her, you're like, "Fuck, okay." It's my woman. This is what she likes. This is my obligation, to make her happy, right? But if you like her, and she says, "Hey, let's go do this," you're happy to do it. That's a unique feeling for a guy. Like, I don't think love is when you feel like you're obligated to be around. Like is when you want to be around. I think that's the ultimate like goal for a woman. Should be
you're not giving women
I disagree.
credit,
I disagree
You're not
because
giving women
I
credit,
love
yo.
men like
I understand.
together.
I understand where you're
Women
coming
got
from.
this
I understand
idea
where
of
you're
love,
coming
the shit that they want, and they don't be fucking with that nigga that's exactly what their idea is. They with the dude that's giving them like adrenaline rushes and all of that.
For me,
shit.
if I love you, I like you.
So that's
I've already
No,
like
I
me
think
and Mo, we
women-
like
I think
fighting.
sometimes-
We like going
Sometimes
out.
people don't know that. Sometimes people don't know the difference.
Woman pursue love is locking somebody down. At their very root nature is to find a mate and have that, right? Where dudes are built differently, right? I'm just telling you. So like if you love a girl, right? That's not the ultimate goal for women, right? Is not to get a dude to love you. No, it's to get a dude to like you, like because love can be you know. I love you over there, but I don't want to be around you.
Yo, you looking at women's savagery as far less than what it actually is. Yo.
I'm
the
not.
only reason that any
I
of
haven't even
us in
said
this
women.
room,
I don't know why.
But I think
But
some
no, I
women
understand
go
what
for
you're talking about, though. I understand
I
exactly
think
what
some
you're talking
women-
about
I didn't bring that perspective
For
into
instance, yo, you got a cousin that you like.
Who, my
Yo,
cousin?
no, I'm just saying in general. I'm talking to everybody.
Okay.
Like, yo, everybody has a family member today. Everybody has a family member, or you know, people have family members that are like, yo, I love that person, but yo, I don't like them half of the time.
right?
Like, that's what he's talking about as an obligation. Like, you know, you have something where you
I
lock
get-
yourself
So
in.
for that
This,
example,
this ideal situation is completely right, but the reality is wrong. Because women got this idea, this romantic comedy idea
Yeah,
of
they have
love
a whole
that they
bunch of
look at and
romantic-
they're like, I want that shit.
That is
But in
true.
reality, they don't go for that guy that's giving that kind of situation. They go for the guy that's giving the shit that they like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been a fuckboy where I'm not a fuckboy, but I've been both sides. I've been
Don't
a
worry.
fuckboy and I've been
Your name's fuckboy now.
I've been a fuckboy before, and I've been a nigga that's like a fucking simp. That's like loving a girl and like doing this shit and doing that shit. And she leave me for a nigga. She leave me for a nigga that's doing the fuckboy shit. So, you know what I'm saying? They say they want this one thing, but if you don't really realize they don't really want that.
So
But
now
I
that
don't
you
know,
actually
but
go-
I just don't know how no, I'm not saying that's wrong at all.
Okay.
I'm not saying how that contradicts anything I said.
I'm saying your theory is perfect, but I think the practicality of it is a little more nuanced.
But I think it's simpler than what you. So it's like this. If you like a girl, women don't want a dude that can't go to the bar in clothes, right? She wants the dude that other girls want, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in love with you're in love with the girl and you don't really like her, is that a possibility? Is that a thing
There's
that
a
happens?
possibility.
You're in love with a woman that you
Because
you
love
don't-
and like are two totally different things.
No,
That's what I'm
I wouldn't say
saying.
that in this stage of engagement. If you're talking about 20 years into a marriage,
No,
the
I'm
kids
just
and stuff,
talking about-
Well, for example,
we're
the
not talking
question:
about- we're not talking
if
about-
I love her, I like her.
He's going back to
If
the
we talking
question.
about marriage,
Yeah.
I mean, we talking about
If you're talking about getting engaged with her, you
yeah, we're talking about the question. Now, I would see that example for like my father and my mother, who've had a whole fucked up life, and he loves her. Like, how your mother doing? I can't stand that bitch. I mean, that's verbatim what he'll say.
Right.
But that wasn't the engagement stage. I feel at that time his willingness to not give a ring, it wasn't a love or life factor.
Yeah.
It could have been financial, like you were saying,
But yeah.
or some like I don't want to cut off. But yeah, that was. I don't know.
Yeah, so what I was saying, how it ties in, if I can get 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I just didn't agree with you. I
No,
didn't
go ahead.
agree
Give
with
him
you.
30. Give him 30.
No, I'm saying if I can get 30 seconds.
I got the next year.
The reason why, yeah, please.
Go ahead.
But the reason how it all ties in is because I can be in love with a woman, right? Objectively, still view things, right? If I like her, I feel like if she came to me and said, this rock matters to me more than, matters to me, I need this, it's really validation. I don't care what anyone says, it's validation. And if that was a deal breaker for her, I wouldn't like her anymore. I'm telling you, I wouldn't.
So
like
the girl
her.
in this question that's saying, "I really want to be married." You think it's because of the rock and the paper and the marriage paper rather than what it signifies?
But that's not what you guys said. You guys you can't twist the.
I'm asking.
You're twisting her words. You're saying that and what I just said was this woman says she'd leave me if we wouldn't get married. Is that fair? Did I say that right? At that part.
No, she said, "Why do guys feel like?"
No. This is what you guys said. This is what y'all said.
Oh, okay.
It's conversation. And so what you guys said, if she said she would leave me, hit me with an ultimatum. I'm saying if she hit me with that ultimatum, I'd be like, okay.
At what point do you say if
You would call it bluff.
no?
I mean,
I was secretly not wanting to leave.
If she wasn't,
if I'm being honest, but I probably called it bluff too.
But
But
here's the deal.
then-
If she left, women, hold on. Women have to know.
Hold on.
Hold on. Give me a second.
You keep
Women,
saying that.
Huh?
I'm trying to ask you a question.
Well,
Just
because
take
you
the
guys keep
question.
twisting my words, and I'm trying to draw a sentence.
Just
and
take
you
the
keep trying
question.
to knock
Just take
my
the
hand
question.
off.
Just take the question. The guy like you who likes a woman who is sure of herself and intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does an intelligent, sure of herself woman say, "I have to assert myself in this situation"? You would want a girl like that.
Because I understand.
So
what
it's
he,
like
I
what
know
you
what he's
already
gonna say.
had, what
Pretty
making a
much,
logical
don't waste
decision
my
like
time anymore. Like, are you
Exactly.
gonna be
A
with
woman
me
who's saying,
or not?
"Look,
Like,
if I'm the
because
one,
if so, then
prove
I'll
I'm
move
the
on to
one."
the next one.
Don't.
And you wouldn't have had a bird anyway.
Well, okay, I'll put it this way.
Ooh, that is good. I like that one too. I'm sorry.
Don't, because here's why.
Okay, go ahead. Look.
If you ever two places with two, I'm not looking to be married until I'm at least 30. But my guess is that I won't go that far. But until I'm at least 30, right?
Right.
And financially secure, doing what I need to do, right? I would ask her straight up, what in your life changes? You know, about when we get married. What will we have then? Now let's say we've been living together for like a year or so, right? We've been together for 5 years, which means I need to hurry up and meet her because I'm not getting married after a year. It's not how I rock. But and we've been together for 5 years. You've been living together for a year. You might ask her, what do you get that you don't have now?
Everything.
Okay,
It's
hold
everything
on.
to them now.
Okay.
To us, we're wired differently.
Yeah.
To them,
We are.
like I've had this question. The reason I say this and I disagree with you because it's like I've been there and I'm coming back and telling you, maybe you'll get it done a different way, young brother, and I hope so. But the way I have it, I've had these conversations where I'm like, yo, I don't give a why do you care about this? You don't understand. And I'm like, I don't understand. But my love for her, right, and liking her, it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep it around. But it doesn't make sense. And these are the questions you do ask.
But
they come back.
If
I
the
guess
Steelers wanted to sign Antonio Brown to just do 1 year deal
It's
after
football
1 year
shit.
deal after 1 year deal, are you going to say that the Steelers are committed to Antonio Brown, or are you going to say that Steelers are committed to Antonio Brown if they sign him to a long term deal?
But if we're talking about athletes, we're talking about depreciating assets.
Oh, well, yeah, we all appreciate that. Both sides. We
Yeah,
both
both
appreciate
sides.
that.
Because
You ain't gonna. You at the peak of your life right now.
No.
50
not.
years.
No, he's not. He ain't gonna be his
Physically?
He's not
He's
gonna
not gonna
he's
look-
not
hold
gonna be
on,
his peak until
hold on.
about 38, 40 years old.
Hold on.
Right now,
No, hold
between
on.
25 and
No, no, no.
35
Fuck
is
no.
your peak.
That's not
Physically.
your peak,
No.
yo.
So,
That's
but,
not your peak,
but
yo.
listen, hold on.
It ain't gonna be 60.
I'll put it this way.
50,
No,
40.
the peak
It might be
the peak of my life will be the next now. Every single time because I constantly learn. The 24 hold on. My 24-year-old disposition, it'll be way better with my 30-year-old knowledge. I will always be better.
That's,
What about the primal
that's
side? What about, like,
idealistic
looking
because
good?
your body
I
can't
don't.
be.
But that's what you guys understand.
Girls aren't gonna
like,
look at you when you're 60 like, oh damn, that's daddy. You know
Love
what I'm
it,
saying?
man.
They're not gonna be doing that shit. Yo, they're gonna be like, he's a nice
But
guy.
guess what?
treat
If
me right.
your finances are where I'm forecasting I'll be at 30, you think I'm gonna be at the bar buying drinks at 60? No, I'm gonna be on a yacht. Let's go ride. If I'm single at that time,
So you saying you have to change your game plan at 60 because you aren't as naturally fucking attractive?
no, I'm saying that if you talk about value, right? We're talking about value.
But he's saying
hear
it's
me,
a
hear me out.
depreciating
Hear me,
asset. That's
hear
what he
me
said.
out. Hear me out. I'm saying that I'm not. I'm saying that I'm not because what you might say is depreciating physically. I care about this. Now let's say you have a car, right? You have a car that's
The car analogies.
because it's easy
No,
to
you
understand.
know. I didn't
Say
know
you-
you were listening.
Let's say you have a Honda Sonata. That's what was that 35, 45 miles per gallon, right? That's pretty good. That's great value, right? For somebody who likes to drive long distances. You throw a turbo in it. Now it's only getting 28, 37, right? It's more valuable to someone who wants to go fast and doesn't care about the gas mileage. So as I get older, I'll adjust, but I will always be better than what I was yesterday.
But that's maybe from your point of view.
Always.
She might not see that.
Yeah,
It might be
she
something
wants-
else you
she
slipping up
wanna
on.
do that
Like
look good,
you
yo.
think you
She
good,
like
you
you
money,
good.
but
She like-
nigga, you're not
she-
satisfied.
she really like that.
Something.
Then-
When Marvin doesn't have abs anymore, he's a depreciating
But that's
ab
the
guy.
physical
but
part.
at this
We
point-
don't know about it. It might
The
not be
woman,
physical. It might
listen,
not
the
be
woman
physical.
you guys are describing, I'm happy that I'm not marrying her. So, but I'll put it like this, right? It's like what he says in The Godfather. You should always be able to get a walk away from anything. If she knows,
I'm to Star Wars too.
hear me. If she knows that you are willing to, and don't get me wrong, you don't walk away and go make a sandwich and it's cool. You walk away, you go in your car, you drive home, you cry all night. You feel it, it burns, but you have to have the conviction within yourself that if I don't like a situation, I can leave. And she's gonna have to know if your girl, I'll put it this way. If your girl's one in a billion, there's 8 of those motherfuckers out there.
All right, stop. Let me, because I'm bringing it right back to you. So just don't laugh all you want, but listen. In a previous podcast, you said that when all of us said we would change the way we were, if you had a kid, no matter what they did, you would never change and you would just chalk it up to being a good dad. And you just now in this podcast said you listened to somebody who said you should always be able to walk away from something.
Your children, dog.
Okay, but if you can't walk away from your children, what if it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
come on now, that's ridiculous.
Come on, yo.
That's ridiculous.
It's not an absolute. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not. If you wouldn't walk away from your kids, then it's definitely not an absolute.
So if love is love,
exactly.
The kids' love is a little deeper. You would think, right?
No, not necessarily.
Your kids are literally a part of you.
Yo, my mom and dad been together for 35 years.
I hear you,
or so.
but your kids are a part of you.
They both probably leave each other.
My kids, when I have kids, that kid running,
you shouldn't do that shit.
Look,
I've seen them. They're not gonna let me get between them.
So my kid, when he's running around, that's literally a part of me, right? No, and also if you would like to go back to that podcast that we had, it was about goals and what was my life goal? To always be a reliable husband and father. This situation implies that I'm single, at least in the eyes of the court. And whether I'm going to get engaged or not, if I don't know that without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going into a situation financially prepared to be that, I will not do that because now my actions are led by my life goal. So thank you for bringing that up.
I don't think it's that finite. But it's only on my experience, which is anecdotal. And it's not his experience, which he will experience one day. Yeah. So we need to check back on this when we're on some major broadcast say, how did it work out? Because that makes sense.
If you look at her like she's the future wife, then does that change it?
If I look at her like she's the future wife, she's my...
You're not engaged with her yet, but the way you look at her like the same way that Nick looked at Mo.
We at 136.
Yeah, we
still
a little over.
We good at this.
She's current. She still be the future wife equals current girlfriend, right? And I hope I'll be the man that as increasingly becomes even more practical. That if I see that,
the hope. I like the hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes back to the situation when I saved the girl or whatever.
Hey,
I would only hope that with all that I know and all the conversations that I've had with people far wiser than all of us combined, that I would make the right decision.
Well, I don't know these people. But you're pretty wise.
Good answer.
Yeah. And I think time will tell with all things.
Yeah, just everything else, everything does. Time, the most precious commodity that we all don't have control over.
Which was slightly over.
Except for
You could cut this shit up.
Is there any rapid questions we got left?
Yeah, any let me cover my neck, because once he gets on the road with this shit, he gets on the road. Look, you got my dumb ass though. Sorry, dudes. You don't know what we're doing.
Get your damn.
I'm sorry, that's not fair.
Are we done with
I was
topics?
literally like this.
I don't know.
I was like this, dude.
Y'all want to do one more topic, or you think?
I think we already over. We already over. So let's wrap it up right about now. If y'all wanna. So next week we may or may not be. We probably won't be on the channel live, but if you're on the page, right, we might do.
We can still do a show
live.
Post a show.
I was also thinking about maybe a pre-recorded show.
That's what I'm saying. We can do a show.
A pre-recorded.
We can do a show any day, anytime.
And then on Sunday go live for.
Just post it.
Stop it, you motherfucker.
Also, the show, if we do go live, doesn't have to be an hour and a half. It could be like a, hey, this is what's going on. Real quick. So Marvin is having a baby shower next week. Daddy gonna be in some ideas. I'm gonna go home and read the Bible, and you are going to.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody, for all our Christians out there.
Yeah, for the Christians.
He supposedly rose from the dead today.
Don't get married
Did you
until
say
you're ready.
supposedly on Easter?
Don't get married until you're ready.
Sunday.
We're not gonna go into religion.
I mean, I wasn't there.
Religion.
Died Friday, rose back for our sins.
Don't get married until you're ready.
All right, hold up.
Don't get married
Don't
until
get
you're
married
ready.
until you're ready. All right, so
Don't get married to Danny until you're ready.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't get married.
Take it over, Mom. Take it over. Take it over, Mom.
Hey.
We going together like
iTunes, not safe for
Oh,
email.
iTunes.
Yeah.
On
Spotify.
iTunes, make sure y'all, what?
Spotify.
Spotify, make sure y'all catch us, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends, and then their moms, and all that kind of stuff. But make sure y'all email us at notsafeforears@gmail.com. Please, we need the questions, we need the reviews, we need the vibes. Bring them on in, baby. Handles.
Denzel Sky Walker.
Nicky Nick K with the. I gotta figure out a cool way to say that. I don't know. But Nicky Nick K with the Nicky.
K before the Nick.
Danny Rothschild. That shit's so dope.
That's hard. It's the last
Danny.
name terrible, but
Ambiguous and Danny _lives.
There we go.
And I am Marvin, also one of the last co-hosts. But MG2_fit. Let's go, baby. Next
Watch
Sunday.
him destroy his waves.
No shit.
that's fucked up.
Ah, my leg.
Wu-Tang.
I got a fucking private teach.
You got something to do real quick? Can I go over the notes I had?
Yes, you may.
Obama. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Obama. I'll be right there.
You look fucking good.
I like that jacket.
To be at my parents' house.
Swagger.
I do have some with them notes, Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody reached out to me with some constructive criticism.
Today?
Yeah. No, it's like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. When she presented the notes.
Oh shit. Hey, Danny. Turn your thing off, man.
What y'all got planned for the rest of the day?
Supposed to be doing go to my parents' house for 2 to do like Easter lunch or whatever.
Is
Gotcha.
You saw it.
No.
no, bitch. I'm kind of retarded I could be. I feel the arm coming up.
coming up.
Hey, yo, it's strong shit in here, yo.
Huh?
You say what?
It's strong in here.
What is strong?
The force.
Yo, we need to stop it, yo. Yo, we dumb as shit.